What's up, everybody? So I didn't even get dressed for y'all. Hey, Rachel. So I am packing to go to, let's see, I will be in Chicago tomorrow night preaching at Tinley Park. And then I will be at in Virginia preaching Saturday and Sunday. And so y'all come see me. Y'all come see me. All the details are on my website, realtalkkim.com. How is everybody doing? Is everybody having like the most incredible week ever? Yes. Everybody's having an incredible week. So I was back there packing and I said, I am totally going to get on and see how everybody's doing tonight. Just check in. Look, I didn't even put earrings on. I've got my Sublime shirt on. Sublime shirt. And no earrings, nothing. Didn't even fix my hair. That's how much I love y'all. So, yes. So tonight we're going to talk about stop asking God to bless relationships he's told you to stay out of. All right? Stop asking God to bless relationships that he told you to stay out of. Come on. Come on. That right there will preach all by itself, won't it? You know what that's talking about, right? So listen, before we get started, go ahead and let me tell you all about me. I am realtalkkim.com. Real Talk Kim, you can find out everything you want, realtalkkim.com. I have a brand new book out that just hit last week, and it's called, I'm sorry, my girlfriend just texted me, and y'all know I'm a little ADHD, so I had to read that, so it got me off track. It's about a week and a half old, and you can get that book called Beautifully Whole on my website, realtalkkim.com. I also have a free app, and the free app is Real Talk Kim Go. And I also just signed today, a contract. So I have a surprise coming for you guys. So y'all better stay. My first contract of this sort. So I've got a lot of exciting news and you will be the first to hear about it. Yes, you will. And so I'm excited. I'm excited to be on here with you tonight. We're going to talk about this. Get your pens and papers out because I'm not going to be here on really long. Y'all go ahead and share with your followers. Share with your followers, right? Isn't that exciting, Izzy? Isn't that so exciting? Thank you, guys. I'm sure so many of you have totally, nope, I'm not doing Preachers of Atlanta again. Nope. I'm going out. You know what? Let me tell y'all something. One thing that you're going to know about this chick right here is that when things are going good, I'm going to leave them alone. All right? I'm going to go out on a high. You hear me? So no, I believe that really in reality, Preachers of Atlanta it did great for me, only because I didn't give them anything to, make me look bad with. And so I think since I went out on a high note, because I did, y'all know one thing about this girl right here, I ain't going to hell for nobody. Okay. I'm not going to go to hell for nobody, and I'm not going to take nobody to hell with me. So, definitely, the show did really well for me as far as that, but it was one of the hardest 6 months of my life. It was definitely hard because my heart posture is to only do things that bring people closer to Jesus. And so it was hard. It was something new for me. Nobody in my family has ever done any TV before. Nobody's ever written books before. So this was all, everything in my life that I'm doing now is all new. I didn't have nobody hand anything to me. No father. Like my dad did give me a church. He did. My mom and daddy did give me their legacy of their church. And I pastor it with my husband now, Church of the Harvest, Fayetteville, 1653 Highway 85 South, Fayetteville, Georgia, 30215. If you're ever in the Atlanta area, come see us. We have 10 and 11:30. I preach every Sunday at 11:30, almost every Sunday. But nobody has ever taught me how to do this. So I'm here to tell all of y'all right now that you do not have to wait for somebody to teach you how to do nothing. Okay? You got to be available. You have got to be available to God, and you have got to listen to me. You've got to want to put in the work. You have got to be intentional, and you have got to not be scared. And so I did not get on here to talk about this tonight, but God took us in this place. And so that's what we're going to talk about. You have got to be not afraid to walk on water. You have to have foolish faith. You got to realize, what do I have to lose? There are people right now out here on my social media platforms, Facebook, Periscope, all of y'all are out here, and God has told you to write that book. God has told you to start that business. God has told you, he's told you, he's told you, he's told you, and you are miserable. You are miserable because you won't jump, because you are afraid of what people are going to say about you. If you jump, and what if they don't? What if they don't buy your book? What if they don't support? And you're over here waiting for people to support you, and God is over here saying, I need you to do it whether people support you or not. And so you got to be at a place where you stop looking for people's affirmation, and I'm telling you how to get started. One foot in front of the other, sis. You got to put one foot in front. I promise y'all something. I was in special ed my whole life, literally special ed. I thought for real, every day walking out of class, I would drop the mic when they would say all the special kids can go to your class. And I would get up and I would drop that mic like I was special walking out of that class. And I found out in 7th grade when I had a teacher that didn't really like kids. And she said all of the LD kids can get up and go out of the class. And I just sat there, because I was waiting for the VIP, I was waiting for that special. And I just sat there, and she said, Kim, it's time for you to go. And I said, no, ma'am, I'm waiting for the special kids to go out. She goes, you are special. Really, you're LD. You have a learning disability problem. And so if I would have allowed that to stop me, just like so many of you are allowing it to stop you, I don't have the finances. I don't know anybody. Did y'all know that whenever I wrote my book, God, I did it. I self-published it. God gave me editors. God gave me people to look at my book to help me put it together. And I I did only what I'm telling you to do tonight, which is just begin to move. Pick up your feet and begin to move. And don't be scared if people don't buy it. Don't be scared if people don't support you. And so that's what y'all have to do. I signed that contract today, and it had taken me a long time to sign it. And I've been in meetings all week long, trying to negotiate and, acting like I knew what I was doing, but I really don't know what I'm doing. And so if you will step, and God can trust you to step, and he does, y'all, he gives you test. Like he says, if you can do this over here and follow through. See, there's some of you in here, you have literally been praying for a promotion, and you were so angry at God. You're so angry at God because you haven't got that promotion, but you've been stealing time in the stock room. You've been praying for God to get a new car, and you won't even keep your hoopty clean. I mean, you're over here asking God for promotion after promotion. You're praying for God for a Boaz or a Ruth, and you're over here, you can't even keep your house clean. And so,
preach, babe.
Look who's home. I told y'all I had to hurry because he was coming home. And so, you have got to get to a place where you're going to trust God, even if people don't support you, even if your family doesn't support you, even if, I'm telling you, if you will just begin to move. That is all God is requesting of you, is that you begin to move. That thing that is on the inside of you, that keeps you up at night. You're like, Kim, I don't even know what my purpose is. I don't even know what God's called me to do. Listen to me. You got 30 days until 2018. And so many of you are just waiting. You're like, I can't wait. I can't wait for this year to be over. I can't wait till, this has been the worst year of my life. And you're gonna literally walk through 30 more days that you have. You have 30 days to shift your perspective. And God is speaking to you tonight, telling you there's going to be a paradigm shift. There's going to be a shifting in your thoughts the minute that you get unstuck. The minute that I'm telling you, there are people on here tonight. You've been praying for God to break you of that addiction. You've been praying for God to help you get over that person that walked out on you. You've been praying all of these things, and God is over here saying, you are not stuck unless you want to be. You are not stuck where you are unless you want to be. You are not stuck. Change doesn't happen until change happens in your mind. And so 30 days, y'all got 30 days. And if I were y'all, I'd realize something. The way you leave is the way you're going to enter. The way that you...
Peanut butter.
Huh?
Tell them not to be like a turtle stuck in peanut butter.
My husband said, don't be like a turtle stuck in peanut butter. Literally, I'm telling y'all something. If you begin to lay hands on yourself, and I teach y'all this all the time, lay hands on yourself. My husband's using my notes to preach tonight. I always tell y'all, I don't care if you feel like a turtle stuck in peanut butter, just begin to move. I'm telling you, got 30 days to begin to get your mind renewed, to get your mind straightened, and to begin to tell God, God, release me from relationships that I'm even wanting to hold on to that have been stopping me, because some of y'all been in some, I'm telling y'all, some of y'all have been stuck in some seasons of your life way longer than you need to, because you're allowing a season in your life to define your lifetime. You've got 30 days, and I promised you one thing, that if you decide that I am getting up and getting myself out of this mess, okay? Stop. You got to ask yourself, okay? Let's talk about this. You got to ask yourself, why are you still talking about the same place that you've been for the last year or two? You're still talking. You're still there. You don't want to be there. You're miserable, but yet you're still there. And you have to ask yourself, thank you, baby. You have to ask yourself, why am I still here? Why am I still here? What is it that I'm afraid of doing? Because I'm going to tell y'all something. God doesn't. There's some of you that have been praying for God to open a door, but your hand's still stuck on the doorknob. Like you've been praying, you want it to look some certain way, and your expectation is keeping you stuck. Because you have literally, listen to me, you have literally had this expectation of what you thought God was going to do. And it doesn't look like, and I'm going to tell you, never does it look like what you think it's going to look like. God says that he's going to do exceedingly abundantly more than you could ever ask or think. Okay? And so you're over here still stuck in Miseryville, still depressed. You said God told you to do this, this, and this. And then all of a sudden you got scared. And so basically you're like, God told me not to do it. But really in reality, you got scared. And you've been doing this forever. You've been staying stuck, waiting. God's already like over here saying, hey, I'm trying to move you. I'm telling you something. Will you want me to tell you how many times God told me to jump in my life? I mean, I didn't jump till I was 36. I didn't jump until I literally said, God, I'm going to lose and I knew it. Yo, I had worked my tail off for 13, 14 years, and I had this cushioned life. And I knew that if I jumped, I was going to end up back at my mom and daddy's. Like I knew, and I heard God say 1 ounce of obedience will do more for you than all the prayer in the world. And when I tell y'all something, I literally, for all those years, I knew at several different times in my life that God told me to jump, and I was too scared to do it. You know what I was scared of? People. I was scared of people. I was scared, what if I step out and do this and it flops? And then everybody's going to laugh. What if I write this book? 3 years I was trying to write my book. What if I write this book and nobody buys it? Everything is around people. What if I jump over here and it doesn't look like? What if I go start my bakery and nobody? What if it does? Have y'all ever asked, what if it does? What if it works? What if it works? What do you have to lose? I think when I finally got to that place where I was like, man, you know what? I hate this. Like, and I was even mad at God. I was mad at God because I thought as soon as I did what he told me to do in 2006, that it was all of a sudden it was going to be like a party. And it was going to be like Katie bar the door. God was going to be like poof. And everything was going to come like butterflies. And no, honey, it didn't. Because you know why? I had to. A lot of times it's not about, hold on one second, let me block this guy. A lot of times it's not about becoming something, but it's unbecoming what we've become, trying to fit into all the group. All those people to love us. We've just changed who we are to get that person to love us. We've changed who we are to have these friends and to fit in with this club. And so now we don't even know who we are. And so what God has to do is he has to say, you got to trust me, but I got to get you undone over here. Because over here, you don't even know who you are anymore. And so I literally had to get in that place where I said, you know what? Well, there ain't nothing else worse than this. And sometimes God will allow you to hit rock bottom to talk to you. Sometimes he will mess your world. He will allow you to mess your world up. He will allow those storms that you created to mess your whole life up so that he can talk to you because you ain't listening. And then we get mad at God. And the greatest thing that I'm telling you about my God is he ain't like people. Nah, he ain't like people. Like before you were ever even a thought in your mother's womb, he knew that you were going to marry 5 times. He knew that your big mouth was going to run people off. He knew that you were going to be put in jail for drugs. He knew that you were going to have 5 DUIs. He knew that you were going to be in a gang and have killed people. He knew that you were going to be a loudmouth gossiper. He knew that you were going to be mean and ugly and hateful. He knew that you were going to be a thief. He knew that you were going to be in special ed and LD. He knew all of these things, and he still said he knew the day that you were going to get it together. And for some of you, it's today. Some of you, it's today. He knew that you were going to get it together. People say all the time, well, if God's so awesome, why does he let this, and this? Why does he let these babies die? Why? And I'm going to just tell you something. The Bible says that the rain falls on the just and the unjust. This is what I don't understand about people that get mad at God when loved ones die. Or do you know that those people that died in your life, that you're sad that they're gone, but they're not sad. They wouldn't come back here on this earth for nothing, because they are dancing with Jesus in eternity, eating bonbons and not gaining a pound. I'm just saying, like you are over here mad at God because you don't understand that person got their ultimate healing in heaven. They got the best healing ever. But what we do is we start allowing these things to keep us stuck. And this is what the enemy does. He begins to use these things to keep us in a place where we are paralyzed and in fear and angry and bitter. All that bitterness does is makes you need Botox. It makes you walk just angry at the world. And it ain't hurting nobody but you. Y'all have got to learn and make up in your mind. I'm telling you something. Probably the last 2 months, 3 months of my life have been the most learning months. I mean, when I tell y'all, I've been quiet. Like I've had some change in my ministry. I've had some shaking in my friend world. I've had, God's revealed some people in my life that weren't supposed to go with me to the next level that I thought were going to be ride or dies, and it hurt. I've had to look at myself. Let me get rid of this person. Y'all know we don't allow cussing up in here. So bye, Felicia, or Philip, whoever you are. But I have had to allow God to take and do things inside. I've had to look in that mirror and begin to change things I was that wasn't good. I had to own some stuff. I had to say, okay, this happened and this happened and this happened, but I don't want to go back. I don't want to have to do this again. So God, if it's me, if it's some issues that I have in my life of maybe not allowing people to get close to me because maybe I'm carrying some hurt around, or maybe the minute I sniff something that smelled familiar of a place and pain that I was, God, then take it out of me. I don't want anything to be inside of me that's going to stop me from pushing to my future, from doing more that you would have. And when I tell you, when I started praying those prayers, God, heal me. I no longer was, get on with the train. I wasn't angry. I wasn't bitter. I was just literally like, God, do whatever you got to do on the inside of me to get me to a place where you can catapult me to the next level, where you can use me, where you can open the windows of heaven over my life and trust me. And God put a magnifying glass in front of my face. And you know what, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all something. Y'all don't know this about me, and nobody probably would believe this about me, but I am Real Talk Kim all over social media. And I'm pretty out there. I'm pretty I lay it out straight. I don't sugarcoat a whole lot, because that's the only way that works for me. So that's my ministry, and that's the boldness that I walk in. And God had to set me free from even, what's it called? Babe, what's it called when you confrontation? God had to set me free from even confrontation. I would shut down instead of confronting issues. Can y'all believe that about me? I didn't want to hurt people. If you brought me the wrong steak, I would eat it. Because I just didn't like it just wasn't worth it for me. People pleaser. I had lived for 17 years in a marriage that was toxic and abusive and horrible and And I just, man, when I got out of it, I just all of a sudden went to the opposite of extreme. And so I didn't want to go back there. And so I would never confront. And I hate drama. You hear me? Like God's had to do a work on me with drama too, because I'm gonna tell you something. I literally if you smell like drama, hey Michael, I love you. If I smell drama, if I smell talking, and God always lets me hear when people are running their mouth. I don't know why, but I always hear it. And my problem was instead of handling it, I would just push it to the balcony. And so Jennifer Cruz, I've got my Facebook personal page and my Facebook like page. So you're probably seeing that's why. But I would literally, hold on one second. So I would literally just hold on to it and not confront it and shut down. And then I would just keep on letting it come in. And then all of a sudden I would just you know what I'm saying? Because this is the problem with communication. Communication kills assumption. But what happens is whenever you walk through so much pain and so much trouble in your life, you will find yourself just tolerating and putting up with stuff that is toxic for your spirit. And you are going to have to get it out because that's just the way things roll, okay? You're going to have to get it out. You're going to have to finally get to that place where you say, you know what, God, search my heart, and anything that is in me that is polluted, or don't talk off the bat. Don't talk, let your emotions die down and then handle it. You know what I'm talking about? So God has really just done a huge work in my life. Now, I'm not afraid to be, to handle situations, but I was afraid. I would rather not deal with it than hurt somebody's feelings. And so God's healed me of that. And I'm telling you, I'm walking into a new year. And why y'all think my Facebook status is and I preach like a beast? You know why? Because most of the time I'm preaching what I'm walking through. You know what I'm saying? Like I am constantly, I told God, if you use me, I promise you, I will never water down the anointing. I will never water down the word of God. I'm not one of those preachers that's going to tickle your feather and just say, oh, you can just get saved and do whatever you want to do. No, there is a heaven and there is a hell, and you're going to one of them. So I'm just saying. So you might as well get your heart right. And my job and what I want to do is make sure that you are ready. And so all of that to say that you need to walk in what God has called you to do, and stop sitting on your anointing. Stop sitting on what God's called you to do. A lot of you would be so much happier if you would begin to find your purpose. And a lot of you also would be so much better off if you were walking in your purpose, because what would happen is you would be happy. A lot of times we're not happy because we are not walking in our purpose, and we're running from God, and we're running from walking with God. And so what's happening is we now have found ourselves over here bitter Betty. We're over here pitiful, not powerful. We're over here just trying to figure out what we're called to do. And God is just saying, get quiet. You got 30 days, y'all. You've got 30 days, 30 days, 30 days. And what I would begin to do is listen, I'm going to tell y'all something. Get quiet like I am. Get quiet. Get quiet. You know what I've committed myself to? I'm letting God talk to me. I'm letting God, man, I want to make sure that walking into 2018, I am like, God's pulled me back like a slingshot and let me rip and rumble. And so I just would pray that over you. I would pray that you would begin to let God talk to you. Stop praying for everybody else. How do you find your purpose, Tammy? It's that one thing that's on the inside. No watered down bubblegum ministry here. You ain't gonna get that here. I'm sorry, y'all. Because I don't want you to go to heaven and get before God and you've been sitting with hearing the water gum message, and you just been living all kinds of ways and miserable and cheating and lying, and you think you're gonna get to heaven, then you get to heaven and God says, depart from me, I never knew you. And I don't want that to be on my watch. Because you know what? My husband tells a story about how when God called him, he ran from it forever to be a pastor. Because we carry your blood on our hands. Like all of the million people that follow me, every day, their blood is on my hands. And so if I lead you astray, your blood is on my hands. And so you got to find your purpose the way you find your purpose is ask God. Begin to say, God, reveal the hidden places on the inside of me. Reveal the hidden places on the inside of me that may be stopping me, that may be polluting my walk with you, that may be things that I'm holding on to that I don't even know that I'm holding on to. There are some of you that unforgiveness is keeping you back, and you didn't even know that you were walking in unforgiveness, because what has happened is the enemy's allowed you to just push down and push down and push down and push down the pain, push down the memories, push down the trauma, push down the unforgiveness. And now you're just walking through life, and you don't have any joy. You don't have any peace. You're just constantly just blah, everything blah, just blah. And you just don't even have joy. And every day of your life is just, man, it's just toxic and broken. And God is over here saying, this is not what I have for you. I have so much more for you, but I need you to take care of your insides. We take care of our outsides. We go to the gym. We eat greens. We juice greens. We do everything for our outside, but our insides are ugly and nasty. Our insides are just battered. And y'all, I remember, I'm going to tell you something before I get off here. I remember I was going through my divorce, and it was the hardest season of my life. I mean, it was literally like, I wouldn't wish divorce on anybody in my life. Like I know why God hates divorce, because it messes you up, man. I mean, it literally, because basically what's happening is someone that you thought was going to be forever. Like that, nobody is born into this world and said, I want to get divorced. Nobody does that. And so when people are always like, especially the people that really try, this is why you can't allow religion and other people to make you feel bad and down if you've had to walk through something like this, because I know that they've never had to walk through it. They would never condemn you. They would never judge you, because divorce is horrific. Divorce is like literally, I wouldn't wish it on nobody. And so this is why you have to know in your heart, I did everything that I could do. And hold on to that hope, and know that God is a God of grace, and God is going to give you a do-over, and God is going to let you do better and get better and bless you with better. But you have got to get better and not go and repeat the cycle. This is why you got to put yourself in timeout and let your heart heal. And I remember in this season, nobody in my family had gone through divorce. Y'all just ignore Ryan. God will get him. Nobody in my family had gone through a divorce. Everybody in my family had totally been through, my mom and dad are 49 years of marriage. Everybody in my marriage, nobody divorced but me. And I remember in that season, just like, God, and I was raised in a religion that said, you get divorced, you're going to hell on a slip and slide. So I was literally like, God, grease that thing down, because here I come. Y'all have heard my story, because I was going to hell. And it wasn't bad enough that I was living in hell, and I was in hell, but now the church was saying that I was in hell. And so y'all just ignore Ryan, okay? Y'all block Ryan. How's that? Y'all block Ryan. And I don't have time to go and look for Ryan. Hold on one second. Maybe I do. Hold on. Block Ryan. We got him. Boom, devil. Little demons. The enemy sends little demons up in here to get us off track. But I remember in that season, like, God, you literally are, I thought he was a mean God. I thought that because this religion made him so hard. And I remember in that season that God used this divorce to allow me. See, sometimes God will break your spirit to save your soul. And so Ryan's gone, everybody. He's blocked. No more. Y'all don't have to fool him anymore.
Now Ryan's crying.
And now Ryan's crying. And I remember I was laying in bed one night, and I was crying like crazy, where the joints of my fingers were aching. And I remember just like, God, what is it? Like, why do I keep finding myself here? Why do I keep creating all of these storms? I keep creating all of these storms, and now I'm finding my life here. And now I'm finding my life, stuck in this season. And God, literally, honest to God, y'all, I had like an out-of-body experience, like for real. Because God wasn't only healing me from, rejection and divorce, but he was healing me from church people. He was healing me from, from what people were saying about me. And I remember in that season, he said, Kimberly, you live so nobody believes it, and I will vindicate you. I will vindicate you. And I'm thinking, because, we always want to defend ourselves. We always want to defend ourselves. We always want to go and try to defend, well, my marriage didn't work because of this. Well, it wasn't all my fault. We always want to do that. And you realize that all we're doing is keeping ourselves stuck in a season that we want to get out of, because we're over here trying to right the wrongs instead of letting the wrongs be gone. And so I'm telling y'all something. I literally was like, like crying in my bed, and it was almost like I had an out of body experience. And I remember I was sitting up in my chair, and y'all, I've been like shouting, the kind of shouting girl all my life. You know what I'm saying? Like I was taught, you know, you speak to mountains and they moved, but I never really understood who God was or ever really experienced. And I believe that this is a lot of people in the world. The reason you keep finding yourself away from God and keep walking away and one foot in and one foot out and wanting a full-time God and a part-time relationship is because you never really experienced God for real. And how do you experience God for real? We're praying for Ryan. We sure are. Won't you start the prayer team? Sometimes you got to let somebody be somebody else's headache, all right? But we love Ryan. We're going to pray for Ryan. He's just in the balcony now. But in that season, I literally was sitting in that chair, and I literally started walking. I remember I was like looking down at myself, and this was crazy. I was like looking down at myself, and I was sitting there with my legs up in my arm, up like this. I can't get my legs up here because my socks are. I had my legs up like this, and I was just rocking back and forth. Okay, so I was like rocking back and forth, and I was looking down at myself, and I saw, it was like I had on this cat suit. You know what I'm saying? Like I had on this cat suit, and it was like a shiny cat suit, and it was, and my hair looked like it looked in 8th grade when I discovered that Aquanet could get the hair like this, okay? So it was like Aquanet, and it was like this big, and the back, I forgot about the back. The back, you remember, if you can't see the back, just don't even fool with it. So my hair, I was standing there like this. I was standing there like this, like both of my legs out like this, you know, in that mode, and with my cat suit on, my hair like this, and it looked like a kindergartner had done my makeup. So my makeup was like bright pink. It was horrible, like somebody had done it with no light on. And so I literally saw myself there, and God started speaking to me. And God started speaking to me. If you're going to be disrespectful, why are you on here? Because let me teach y'all. This is a teaching moment. The reason they're on here is because the enemy uses people for distractions. Okay, so they're on here, which means we're doing something right. Okay, so y'all just ignore them, pray for them, and don't even. Y'all should be listening to me and I'm watching these things anyway. Y'all can even hide them, but they're only on here because of distractions. Okay. And so that's why you got to ignore them, because somebody's getting blessed right now, and the enemy's trying to use this to distract. So I was sitting there, and I was rocking back and forth, and I was like, God, I was just asking God, why do I always find myself here? Why? And I remember, as I was looking down, I saw my mother, my dad, my brother, his wife, and none of them had faces, and they were all just sitting there. And y'all, I'm talking about, this is spiritual. I'm telling you a story that I don't ever tell anybody. And so this is when my deliverance took place. And I saw all of a sudden, you know how they have those balloons that go and travel over the football stadiums and the baseball stadiums, those big blimps. And yes, basically it was a spiritual encounter that I had. Was this a dream? It was a spiritual encounter. It was me and God. Like, this is the way God talks to me, because I wouldn't listen in no other way. And so basically he was showing me my spirit, my inside. And so that blimp was coming, and out of the blimp was coming like words, bubble letters. Like words were coming out. It was like bubble letters. And in the bubbled letters was LD, divorce, angry. People said you were ugly. People said that everything that had held me back, that I was angry about. I was angry about everything. I was a bitter party of one. All the way, even when I was a little girl. Even when I was a little girl, like 7 years old, I remember the grown-ups would be like, you are the meanest little girl ever. Like, and so all of that sticks to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, the enemy, because he can't touch you, but what he does is he starts to get you at a young age. And I was mean, because I was a preacher's kid. And all the saints' kids were always telling on me, and I was always getting spanked, okay? And so I was mean. I was the one that would literally, during church, there was this one little girl that would always call my mom on Sundays. And she would tell my mama on me. And every Sunday, just about I got spanking. And so finally, I got sick and tired of it. So I walked her in the back of the church one day, and I said, let's play spin. And I started spinning her, and as I was spinning her, I let her fly. I was like, if I'm gonna get, and man, I've always been this way. If I'm gonna get in trouble, I'm gonna go down for it. You know what I'm saying? That's how come I'm so passionate for Jesus now, because people with the worst past create the best futures. And so I was mean, but I was mad that they told me I was mean, okay? And so not only was I mean, because really in reality, when people say you're mean and you're this, you're that, nobody will ever love you, to us, we're hearing all of these bad things, because really in reality, no one in life wakes up and comes into this world and says, I want to get divorced. I don't want anybody to ever love me. I want to be mean. I want to have 5 kids with 5 different baby daddies. Nobody wants to bite your head off every day. Nobody wants to drink themselves to sleep every night. Nobody wants to be on drugs because they hate themselves, because they have just embraced all these ugly things that everybody has said about them. And so I remember I was just sitting there, man, I was rocking back and forth, and all of this stuff was coming out. And I said, I have 5 kids by one man. Well, won't he do it? Y'all love each other, don't you? And I literally, my mama told me I was mean. She was. See, I'm just saying, y'all. And so what happens is we own all of these words. And so I had owned all of these words, and I was very, 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 very mad. And so somebody just asked me if there's a biblical topic here. I always think we got to be like, girl, what you preaching in the Bible today? Actually, there is. Ephesians 3:22. We're talking about exceedingly abundantly more than you could ever ask or think. So boom, shakalaka, boom. And I literally sat there and watched all of that stuff leave in my life. And I remember for the first time I heard God that day. And I heard God literally tell me, Kimberly, what's inside of you is so powerful that the enemy has set you up for failure. And you've listened to the enemy's lies. And if these things, if you wouldn't have had enough God on the inside of you because I was raised, I love my heritage. I love my religious heritage. Did y'all hear me talk about? I'm telling you, I love it because it taught me about God. It did. It taught me, even when I was up on a bar nay-naying, I still knew God. Like I'd get drunk and talk about God at the bar. Okay. I mean, it was in me. And he said, because of this, what happened is the enemy was setting you up over here. And that's why I had the cat suit and the big old hair. And he was showing me, if he would not have kept his hand on my life, then what was happening is I was picking up my legs, y'all. I would stand up, but I got my jammies on. And so I don't want y'all to see, but I wish I could give y'all an image of what I'm talking about. Literally a cat suit, black cat suit, shiny, with those big old thigh boots and everything. The big old hair, the makeup, and I'm standing like this. And as I begin to pick up my leg and move, it was like a New York scene. It was like a New York city scene. And as I was picking up my legs, I was just knocking all the buildings down. I was just knocking every building down. Like I didn't even care who I was hurting. I didn't care who I was taking down. I didn't care. I was vicious. I was just bitter, man. And the Holy Spirit was showing me at that moment the things that you detested in life. The special ed, the anger, the hurt, feeling unprotected my whole life, and all of these things. I literally, God said, because of that kept you on the straight and narrow. If you wouldn't have had these things in your life, see, Romans 8:28, he's working all things together for your good. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Here's what I'm saying. I'm saying all of the things that happened in my life, God used to keep me on the straight and narrow. If I wouldn't have been in special ed, you couldn't have told me nothing. If I hadn't had felt like everybody was talking about me, and you couldn't have told me nothing. I would have been in New York, angry, bitter, being a boss of everybody. I wouldn't have known Jesus. I wouldn't have wanted to know Jesus. And so basically what was happening was God said, I was working all things together for your good. And so that's a word for some of you tonight. The things that you are detesting and the things that you hate are the very things that God is using to keep you on the straight and narrow. I'm telling you the things, and I'm going to tell y'all something. I sat there and cried. I was straight up ugly crying. Like I was crying so hard. It was the best, most cleansing cry. I let go. I forgave myself for divorce. I forgave myself for being a mean girl and swinging that girl and letting her fly. because I still felt bad about it. You know how we're ugly? Yo, I was the girl that literally, no lie, like I promise y'all know, thank you for loving my new book, sis. I was the girl, I'm telling y'all a lot of stuff tonight that I haven't told people. I was the girl that literally, like, I mean, I would get caught, okay? I would get caught. This is how bitter I was. I would get caught at something I was wrong for, and I would get mad at that person for catching me. I was tore up on the floor up. Like I needed God to heal me, man. I was like, I would get mad at them for catching me. And so I literally needed God. I love you, Serafina. You've been preaching good on here, girl. I literally needed God to get me to that rock bottom to heal me. And I couldn't, you know, a lot of times you're very angry. All y'all love my realness. I know, because y'all wouldn't do this. There ain't nobody else who would do this. There ain't nobody else that would tell these stories. Y'all wouldn't tell y'all's business like this. I don't even care. I'm so healed. I tell everything because, you know, I don't want anybody in the world, because God has taken me, like I signed a contract today, y'all. I mean, like, I got a lot of things happening in my life. And if I was hiding stuff, it'd come out on TMZ or come out in Charisma. It would come out on, you know, Daystar. It would come out on MTV. No, because where God's taking us, you can't be hiding nothing. You got to tell it all. And the most beautiful thing about it is you don't even hide. You just go through life and you are just letting God use you, and you don't care who's Googling you. You just don't even care. But I had to get to that place where, man, God, you broke me down so you could build me back up. You broke me down so you could build me back up. And, you know, I tell people all the time, people with the worst past can create the best futures. But that night, I'll never forget, it was a week before Thanksgiving in 2006. And me and God were having a little talk I was having a little talk with Jesus. And I was letting him know how I felt. And when I tell y'all that, man, when he started showing me myself and that ugly self that I had become. Anger and bitterness had taken me to a place that I never thought I could be. And, you know, I'm just so thankful that he showed me myself. Y'all know what? The one thing that I've learned about God and healing is that so often we don't want to own our truth. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to own our truth. I'm glad you did, love. We don't want to own our truth. And so what happens is we don't get healed because we don't own our truth. And you know what I've discovered is when God was healing me, did you know he never, ever one time showed me my ex's fault, his wrong? Did you know that? Did you know that not one time did he over here say he did this wrong, he did this wrong, he did that wrong? He never did. Can you believe that? He never one time showed me those people that betrayed me and walked out of my life and talked about me, slept with my husband. Guess what? He never one time showed me. See what I'm saying? Never, ever. Yes. Just like the cross, what looks like the end is just the beginning, and it's the greatest beginning ever. So you know what? This whole thing that I told you tonight, I'm telling you something, is that you've got 30 days, y'all. You got 30 days. 30 days to let God begin to, don't stop praying. Kill him. Stop praying. Get him back for me, God. Stop it. Stop it. And start praying for yourself. Start praying for yourself. Stop wanting everybody else to get a payback for hurting you. And start praying over yourself. God, never one time, ever, 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 did he tell me one thing about that other person that I was angry at. He only showed me my heart. So you got 30 days. 30 days. I want y'all to begin to do inventory and allow God. I mean, y'all listen to me. There's some of you on here that have sent me emails even. People that are right now saying it. I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do what you're saying, Kim, because I know that I'm missing a blessing trying to teach somebody a lesson. And I want to do this, but I cannot let go. I cannot let go of this unforgiveness because I want them to pay. as bad as they hurt me. I feel like it is my reward to get them back. I want y'all to just tell God, God, I don't know how to forgive, but I don't know how. I don't know how to forgive. And a lot of you need to forgive yourself. That's where you need to start. You need to forgive yourself. A lot of you are very angry at yourself because you feel like you've wasted years and years on somebody. And you're angry and you're bitter and you're broken. You need to forgive yourself. Because I'm going to tell you something. There was no time wasted. There was no time wasted. It wasn't a waste. What you went through was not a waste. It was teaching. It was free life college. And you ain't got to pay back a student loan. But the anointing that's going to come out of your life because you made it. You made it. Some of y'all just need to give yourself a party. Throw yourself a party, man. You made it. You might not have made it nice. You might not have made it nice, but you made it. And you got to decide, I'm not going to be better, but I'm going to get better. I'm going to get better. Yeah. I'm going to get better. What does this mean, y'all? What is this request? Add guest. What does that mean? Let's look. Y'all want to look with me? What does it mean, add guest? I tried to add y'all. I don't know what it means. I just see this little red box. Y'all know what it means? This little red box on Facebook, and it says add guest. Add guest. Add guest. Allow your viewers to request to join you as a guest in your broadcast. Huh. I don't know what it means, but I tried to add y'all. Well, did y'all get anything out of tonight? Are you going to do what I said? Oh, to add someone like FaceTime. Oh, somebody wanting to come up here and talk to everybody on Facebook? Y'all, come on, ask again. I'll let you come in. What does that mean? You can ask a question? They want to ask me a question? Let's see. Let's see. I don't know. Where are they at? You can invite someone to come on the live feed with you. Oh, to bring someone into... Oh, okay. So that basically means that they want to come on here and talk to us, right? Is that what that means? Maybe ask a question. You can add a person to video with you. Oh, cool. Well, y'all ask again. If you add, it's going to look like FaceTime. Oh, I got you. Y'all are smart. Y'all are some smart people. So basically, what we got out of tonight was nothing that I was going to teach on. Don't you love when God does that? Don't you love that I was coming on tonight and talking about, I was about to tell you about people that are not supposed to be in your life. And I was going to give you tips. It might be Ryan. That's okay, Renelda. Let Ryan come up in here. I'll pray for him in front of all y'all. I sure will. I'm starting today. I'm telling you, Sophia, if we just realize, Sophia, I think you, I'm not going to tell your story, but I think I remember your email. And I'm just going to tell you, sitting right here, girl, you just have to be intentional with it. You have to be intentional in order to get over relational with it. That is not just going to go away. When God was hurt, when I was hurting like hell, trying to heal, and I was begging God to take the pain away from me. You know what God said? God said, I can't take the pain away from you. You got to give it to me. How can you really tell? Let me see what you just said. How can you really tell if a path you are looking at going down is really from God? Satan is the master of disguise. Jay, it's very easy to tell if it's a path of God because you'll know God is not a God of chaos and confusion, okay? So, yes, Satan is the master of disguise. However, that ugly sly foot is not omnipresent, and he gonna mess up. So basically what starts happening is he may send in a knight in shining armor and make you feel like this is the greatest gift from God ever sent to me, and then all of a sudden you're going to start seeing some red flags, and they're not going to be pretty red flags. They're going to be, Jay, they're going to be like crazy red flags. And you're going to know without a shadow of a doubt. But here's the problem. This is where he gets you, is because you are already so in love or so this or that, you won't let him go. And then you start praying for God to change the red flags. And he's like, I gave you red flags. And you got to stop trying to get God to bless a relationship he didn't put you in. And so that's where we usually mess up, is that, yeah, the enemy can send somebody that's a disguise, but they ain't going to be able to. You're going to see red flags. Do you hear me? You're going to see red flags. They're going to call you out of your name. They're going to, morals that you have, they're going to try to break those. I'm telling you. Unequally yoked marriage. I would tell you you have to fight for your marriage. Divorce is straight from hell. I would absolutely go to marriage counseling. Listen, if you are in a relationship, I had been sent 20 hours. If you have been if you are married and this person is abusing you or cheating on you, you know, at some point, like I had somebody the other day that said she was married to an addict, and abuse was coming in. And, you know, you don't have to stay with somebody that is abusing you. That is not of God. That is not of God for you to be with somebody that is abusing you. And, but I would definitely go to marriage counseling. You can't just throw in the towel because you fall out of love with somebody. Marriage is work, y'all. Marriage takes work. That is going to be cool to add, folks. I know. I tried to add them, sis, but they didn't come on. But you gotta, man, marriage takes work. There are going to be days that you don't like your spouse, but you just choose to, I don't like you today, but I love you every day. And I'm going to fight for this marriage. I'm going to fight for this marriage. And we're going to make it. We're going to make it. And so you got to really, 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 really make a decision to fight. I'm telling you. Because listen, y'all, I've seen people that have been married 3 and 4 and 5 times, and they keep on getting divorced over and over and over. You know that one day you're going to need somebody to help you wipe your tail. You're going to need a friend. You're going to need, and you're over here just not even putting in the work. Every time it gets hard, you run. And so I'm just challenging y'all in your whole life, just in your life. You're preaching to my heart. I'm so thankful, sis.